Hi everyone, Stephanie here. I am making this series of videos analyzing my own competition runs and trainings in the hopes of using this as a tool to help myself to get better at my own handling, and also to help you in terms of timing, connection, handling choices, or if you just enjoy nerding out on agility runs like I do, this video series will be for you. This J3 is by Stephanie Semkat, who is one of the more widely considered more challenging course designers in the world. This course was quite fun, uh, and even though I had a bar down and a refusal, I was super happy with the run. So we'll take a look at the handling choices I made and the reasons why the mistakes happened in particular, because that is how we get better, is by understanding better how our dogs move through courses, um, how our timing affects them, and being able to predict what will happen. So if you can predict what will happen on the course, more often than not, you're going to run clean. So here, starting out with strong connection because I need to make a backside send, making sure to move parallel to the dog's intended line to push her to the backside. And you can see there that I actually could have potentially set her up on more, because you can see that she actually jumped here and then changed her line here. Great that she changed her line. I probably could have set her up on maybe even more of a slicing line to let her find that backside earlier. And my connection kind of drifts down a little bit as I start to move forward. And so maybe I could have kept a little bit stronger connection there, but she committed pretty nicely and I was able to move on. And I was really wanting to see that she was going to take this bar. So this blind cross should be done by now. And it's not. Now it is. It was pretty late. And I think that that is likely why this bar came down, was affected by this blind cross being late. And so her not being completely prepared for this jump. I'm also doing a little bit too much with my arm, but let's look again at this because this is where I'm most curious. Right, so here the blind cross should be finished. I'm actually surprised that bar didn't come down because neutral head at this moment, I should already be seeing her land over my left shoulder at that point. And so because I delayed that head turn, she landed even closer to the wing. Um, and so that's a tighter line than I intend for this jump. Okay, so landing really close to this wing, and then there's this purple jump right here that they have to go out to. And so I think because my blind cross was late, it affected where she took off from this jump. And I'm also like doing this thing with my hand. I should have just kept my hand like this, level. Also, there goes the hand again, which that can be pretty distracting, and I should have just kept it up. And I don't think I saw this bar come down. I think I just heard it. So likely the connection wasn't enough. But she was super going to this backside. And again, here that line cross is late. Should have been done before takeoff. But again, I was struggling to trust her backside commitments in a trial. So clearly those are getting better. All right, good. Go forward cue given. The verbal should be given before the tunnel. I think I was doing that. And she is quite good at go forwards and went easily to the backside. So that I knew I could trust with her. Whereas my other dog, my other border collie, I would have to push that much, much more. She will go more easily. All right, and then there's this in here, which I think I was nicely connected for. All right, and so now parallel line to the jump and preparing her for this flick, which again, she did really nicely. Like, I had a feeling I was going to start to fall behind, so you can see I started to push in with my line a little bit there. But I think that actually helped her. All right, so here, parallel, parallel, and now you can see I start to change my line here, and which I'm doing as she's taking off, which is a little bit risky. But because I was falling behind so much, I was a little bit worried about this red jump because the more you fall behind, the more the dog wants to curl toward you, and so the potential for this to happen increases. But she's also very good at flicks. And I have a verbal cue for that. I use the word turn, and so um, I gave that before takeoff to the previous jump, so that I think helps too. She's quite good at it. And she has to run through the stanchions because the bar is down. I did not intend to be on this landing side of this jump. I did not walk this layer. So it actually, I think, was probably better though, because that position opened the line for her for this in. So like it worked nicely, but it was not my intention. It's just where I ended up. And the deceleration is okay. I had a pretty good turn to the tunnel. This deceleration for the in could have been maybe a little earlier, but I was also like not like I said, I was not intending to be on the other side of this blue jump. So, but I just went with it as you have to be able to do. Um, so that was good. Go forward to the weaves. Again, that I know I can trust that she will go out there. Um, whether or not she makes entries consistently, like, and stays in, like, that is much better than it used to be. There's still a couple situations where she might pop, but overall she is pretty good at it. This tunnel, like, she does not turn well out of tunnels. She's just very strong and very pushy. Um, and so she will tend to just not bother collecting and will go flying. So I overhandled this. So one of the things I do for this, and you can see here, I actually head check the connection a little bit there. So I should have maintained this the whole time. But one of the things I do to make sure she knows to come toward me is, and come close to me, is drop the hand before she goes in the tunnel. So lower hand means closer to me. And I also have a word Sue, which I use to tell her to just come find me, out of a tunnel or even like over a jump. Just come to where I am. And so I went really low with the hand and was just too far away from the jump. So she listened perfectly. This is what Sue is. When I do it in training, I like the dog has to come all the way to me and we make these circles. So she did it. And so what I should have done instead was connected a bit more, seen that she was on the line coming toward me, and then pushed a little bit um, in order to save it, or do the Sue, but change my running path more towards this jump. And that probably would have been actually the most effective because um, I often practice cueing a Sue, come find me, and then I will just turn in circles in front of a jump, very close to it, without releasing the dog to actually jump, so they don't just grab obstacles, but pay attention to handling. And she is very obstacle focused, and doesn't often regard handling as much. And so probably the best plan for this would have been to do the Sue as strongly as I did, but change my running line, so that I was moving more towards like this second wing instead of going this way, because it just pulled her too far off the jump. So a bar down and a refusal, but not the worst. All right, and so she's still young at 3.5, and tends to, like I said, pay attention more to obstacles than handling. So I have to handle quite strongly for her, or have had to historically, but since I've begun working on like these more handler focused games like the Sue training, for example, the come find me training, and other brain games that I'm doing involving like placing a reward. Like she loves her toy, so placing a toy somewhere on the course, but not in a place to act as a lure, but in fact in conflict with the line that I'm handling, so that she actually has to pay attention to me and not to just what's out on the course. um those things are helping a lot, as well as getting to know her, and that's the process. And is the main motivation for me doing these videos for myself is that it really gives me a good way to analyze the videos and verbalize it so that I internalize it. So I'm doing this to help myself, and hopefully it also helps you if you run a dog like her, or if you're just interested in learning more about timing, training, handling choices, etc. then this series will be for you. So I hope you enjoyed this first video. There will be more to come, and I will see you next time.